Good morning, everyone. How are you? Thanks for coming. It's another exciting day in the stock market. Um, yeah, market's flat. I looked at Capricorn last night for a few hours on my Discord, in case anybody missed that, which everyone did miss that. um, it was interesting. I don't think the drug works or anything, but it's hard to figure out what the FDA is going to do. I would imagine they're going to say they're going to reject it, but I actually have to figure out when are they going to have a decision. I've been lazy with biotech. I got to give you guys some big gains. Oh, there's an article on Humasite. Was it positive or negative? It's down 9%. I don't have a position in Iova. Okay, so they have Bidufa in August, so we're not going to know for a while. Very negative. How nice. I love it. I love it. What the hell is this? Deny, deny, deny.
The types of weapons used.
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
That's
Appreciate
it.
it.
Go.
The NSC said it was authentic. Mr. Secretary.
That makes him look worse. Nobody was texting war plans. What the heck? Oh shit. So is there a health section? Did I go? Okay, let me see. There we go. Okay, so this is, yeah, really interesting.
FDA approved lab-grown blood vessel despite warnings. This article is by Christina Jewett and read by an automated voice. When the biotech company Humacyte designed a study to see if its lab-grown blood vessel worked, it decided to measure whether blood was flowing freely through the high-tech tube 30 days after it was implanted in a person. As those days passed, some of the 54 patients in the study ran into trouble. Doctors lost track of one. 4 died. 4 more had a limb amputated, including one who developed a clot and infection in the artificial vessel, Food and Drug Administration records show. Humacyte, which is traded on the NASDAQ, counted all those patients as proof of success in talks with investors and in an article in JAMA Surgery. At the FDA, though, scientists counted the deaths, amputations, and the lost case as failures, records show, noting a lack of information to determine if the vessels were clear. Still, the agency approved the vessels in December without a public review of the study. Top officials authorized it over the concerns of staff members who said in FDA records that they found the study severely lacking or were alarmed by the dire consequences for patients when the vessels fell apart. Now the company is ramping up its marketing efforts to hospitals and for use on the battlefield. When a patient's blood vessel is damaged, doctors typically find a blood vessel from another part of the body and graft it to repair blood flow. They turn to artificial vessels when patients are too badly injured to harvest a vein. The Humacyte vessel is made from a mesh tube seeded with cells from the human heart. The cells grow over 2 months in a bioreactor, and at the end of the process, the human cells and genetic material are removed. A lab-grown tube, mostly made of collagen developed from the aortic cells, remains. Before the vessel was approved, one FDA medical reviewer pointed out that 37 of the 54 patients were not assessed in a safety check 4 months after getting the implant, with many dead or lost to follow up. There is significant uncertainty regarding the safety and effectiveness of this product beyond 30 days, the FDA report says. Dr. Robert E. Lee, a vascular surgeon who cared for gunshot-wounded patients in Detroit for 30 years, retired in the fall from the FDA in protest over the matter. In a review of more than 2,000 pages of company records conducted when he was an FDA medical officer, Dr. Lee found that the vessel could rupture with no warning. Those events were unpredictable, catastrophic, and life-threatening, he wrote in his FDA review, parts of which were made public weeks ago. That's an unacceptable risk for whatever slim benefit, if any, this product provides above the current standard treatments, Dr. Lee, who had been a reviewer at the agency since 2015, said in an interview. He noted that doctors currently use the patient's own vessels, if available, or tubes made of Gore-Tex. An FDA spokeswoman said the approval was based on a careful evaluation of data from clinical trials that demonstrated a clinically meaningful benefit in restoring blood flow in the affected limb and ultimately limb salvage. Humacyte is also developing a graft for patients with dialysis, for those undergoing cardiac bypass surgery, and for infants with a heart-related birth defect. Dr. Laura Nicholson, one of the company's founders, said approval of the vessel, called Symvess, was a milestone for regenerative medicine overall. She had begun work to create the lab-grown vessels decades earlier. In its 20 years, the company had logged no sales and accrued more than $660 million in debt, financial reports show. In an interview, Dr. Nicholson said the disagreement over how to label the patient deaths and amputations as successes or failures arose after the company decided to count cases as failures only when it was certain that blood flow was cut off. The FDA took a more conservative approach to calculating the success rate for the product, she said. Rational people can disagree, she added. The FDA records do not indicate whether the problems with the vessels directly caused the deaths or amputations. Dr. Nicholson said that the company must use the agency numbers in marketing the product to clients, but that it could present its more favorable figure to investment analysts. She also said the study was published before the FDA reached its decision. Vijay Sheesal, the company's chief commercial officer, told investors this month that Humacyte was in talks with 26 hospitals to begin distribution. Mr. Sheesal also said the company was hoping to sell the vessels to the Defense Department for battlefield injuries. The U.S. Army gave Humacyte $6.8 million in 2017, embracing the product as an option for wounded soldiers. Each artificial vessel costs $29,500, and Mr. Shesell said the company hoped to market several thousand each year in the United States. Dr. Nicholson said in an interview that her interest in engineering a blood vessel was twofold. As a young doctor, she had observed that arterial disease was devastating. She described an experience as a medical resident in the late 1990s, watching a senior doctor make incision after incision in a patient's legs and arm, seeking a healthy vessel to use in a heart bypass surgery. She called the procedure barbaric. To provide a new blood vessel for a patient who needs one, we usually have to rob Peter to pay Paul, she said. Since Dr. Nicholson first began meeting with the FDA in 2015 about starting a trial in humans, the agency repeatedly found fault with the company's efforts to study the vessel's use. Its trial involved people suffering major trauma, such as gunshot or car crash injuries, took place in U.S. hospitals and in Israel. The participants had an average age of 30 and half were black patients. Humacyte also provided the vessels to doctors treating injured soldiers in Ukraine. By November 9, 2023, Dr. Nicholson described results of the studies to investors on an earnings call in glowing terms. Initially, she said the rate of blood flow through the vessels at 30 days was 90%, beating existing products on the market. And the results in Ukraine were remarkable, she said. We're proud to be able to help our Ukrainian surgeon colleagues save life and limb in this wartime setting. Over the ensuing months, though, reviewers at the FDA, including Dr. Lee, would examine the same studies and conclude that they did not look nearly as good. As a vascular and general surgeon in Detroit, Dr. Lee had decades of experience with victims of gunshots, stabbings, car crashes, and other accident victims who might receive such vessels. He said he was alarmed by the account of a man in Ukraine who began bleeding at the site of his surgical wound 8 days after the vessel was implanted. Doctors discovered a 2-millimeter hole in the Humacyte vessel and repaired it with sutures, according to FDA records. 4 days later, the patient was bleeding again, requiring removal of the graft the next day. The review suggested that an infection could have played a role. Of 71 cases that Dr. Lee examined for a safety review, 7 people, or about 10%, experienced vessel failures that resulted in major bleeding, according to the FDA review. Dr. Lee said that was unheard of in his experience with Gore-Tex grafts. Plastic arteries, they don't usually present with catastrophic hemorrhage, unexpected like this, Dr. Lee said. You know the patients are sick, with a fever or other signs of an infection, he continued. You know something's brewing and you usually have time to take care of it. Hoping to glean more information about the root cause of the mid-vessel blowouts, and to be sure doctors were aware of the possibility, Dr. Lee began seeking a public advisory hearing on the device. Thomas Joe, a biostatistician in the Biologics Division of the FDA, also flagged concerns from the U.S. arm of the study and the data from Ukraine. Neither study met the usual criteria for an adequate and well-controlled trial, he wrote. The study of 16 patients treated in Ukraine was retrospective and observational, meaning researchers could look back at a larger pool of data and select the best cases. It showed limited support of efficacy, partly because the injuries were skewed to shrapnel injuries and not the devastating wounds typically seen on the battlefield, he said. The U.S. study was poorly conducted and underwent multiple major changes during the trial, the statistical review said. The records also show that FDA scientists dismissed as successful the patient deaths and amputations, citing a lack of information or imaging studies. As a result, the FDA concluded that the vessel's success rate for that key study was 67%, rather than the company's 84% FDA records show. In comparison, artificial grafts already had blood flow rates of 82%, the review said. The company also reported an 84% success rate at 30 days in an article published in November in JAMA Surgery, which is widely read by surgeons. The article stated that the Humacyte vessel demonstrates improved outcomes over other artificial vessels. It also said the Symvess provides benefits in infection resistance. The FDA review said there was no clinical evidence demonstrating that extra effect. Dr. Lee failed to persuade top FDA officials to hold a public advisory committee meeting where the study results could be discussed and reviewed by independent experts. The agency decided instead to send records to 3 external reviewers, who in turn identified failure of the Humacyte vessels as a serious risk, but added that the appropriate patient population would benefit, according to documents. In announcing approval of the graft on December 20th, Dr. Peter Marks, head of the Biologics Division, called the vessels innovative products that offer potentially life-saving benefits for patients with severe injuries. But the product is accompanied by a black box warning, the agency's most serious, for failures that can result in life-threatening hemorrhage. The FDA also is requiring the company to continue reporting safety data. Dr. Human Norchazam, co-director of the Amy J. Reed Medical Device Safety Collaborative at Northeastern School of Law, said the FDA should not have approved a product that its scientists deemed inferior to existing options. If the graft falls apart, he said, or if it disconnects to where it is attached to the vessel, it is basically akin to the patient getting shot. Dr. Lee said he hoped the FDA, with new leadership under the Trump administration, would still hold a public meeting. Every surgeon who uses it needs to see the things that I did, he said.
Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of what we thought. You know, and it actually gives you good color for Capricorn, because it sort of tells you that, look, the FDA, one, they make mistakes. Two, you know, they're human. So you can't always, you know, keep the FDA. Sorry, I'm just doing some remote computer magic here. You can't always, you know, trust the FDA to do the right thing. This wouldn't be the first time that they've not done the right thing. And Capricorn, you know, you have the DMD lobby. That's pretty big. And look, these are families that want their kids to have any shot they can get at a new drug. So I don't blame them. And they're going to try to sway the FDA all they can. Humacyte is weird because, like, first of all, it's a medical device. It's not a drug. But it was reviewed by the drug people at FDA, which should be harder, right? And nobody's going to use the Humacyte device. So that's kind of the real important thing here. So Humacyte's going to 0, but it's just a matter of when, and, you know, as they report commercial results, it'll sort of be clear that they can't succeed. Yo. Okay, got some model updates here. Let's see. Atma's doing well. My little biotech engine that could. I might want to update these recommendations. I haven't updated them in months. So, do you guys care if we do like an audit of all my recommendations? It's going to be pretty painful. Slow and deliberate. Okay. Do it. Okay, so the way I do that is I go watch the old videos. Delete these. Okay, so here's 324. 7 hours, but I can just speed through it pretty quickly. Shut up. Stupid cat. Okay, so Sarepta 324.24 long. Let's see. Ah, what happened? What the fuck? How did I get logged out? That's so weird. Okay, so I'm just going to put the, I don't know what price to put, to be honest, but I guess I can look at the stream and see what time it was. Hope to see what time it was. Okay, it was, call it the open price then. What's the conviction on Sarepta? I would say 3, maybe 4. What do you think? 10. Thank you. This is a pretty deep dive. Yeah, we're gonna go back and see more videos, Max. Okay, so this is Amex. Yeah, I really liked Amex. I can help him get that drug, Michael. If he, yeah, that's, I know a lot of people. I can make some calls if you want to put me in contact. Yeah, I can definitely get that drug to him, Michael. Martin, the good guy. I don't like to show Martin the good guy off. Don't tell him I did this. It's gonna ruin my street reputation. I'm not playing around here. No, I mean, it's nothing special. I just happen to know the management team. So I can get a pretty direct... Yeah, I've done this a million times, Maddie. Bloomberg reported on it once, and then they stopped once they realized they hated me. Bloomberg used to do tricks on it. I'm not married. I think I'll get married, but the baby is the primary goal. I think marriage is, these days is a little, it's kind of not that critical, sort of a made up thing. It depends on the people too. Sometimes women need marriage to protect them from, their husband leaving them. In the old days, that would result in sort of a gigantic problem, right? And so that makes sense, but that's not the situation here. So I'm not in a sticky situation. Don't worry. I'm in the best situation. It has religious significance for sure. And I think we might do it just to make my mom happy. Anyway, let's focus on this. Okay, so for Goldman, I couldn't make heads or tails of it, but it was fun to learn it. And Morgan Stanley. Oh, and then we did Constellation really briefly. That was actually a lot of fun. I'm going to give that along with a 1 conviction. Pepe, we don't have a really good tool there. We are going to get a better tool. Be patient with us. EQS is the tool we have, but it's not working great. Yeah, it's very hard to make large amounts of GLP. You need a multi-billion-dollar facility. And even then, they have capacity problems, so it's difficult. There's not much biological manufacturing capacity, actually, in India. There's a lot of chemical manufacturing capacity, but biologics the Indians don't do biologics very well. It's a very different process. You should sue Matt Nacktrab for making you believe in cassava. What a guy, man. I saw his tweets today. India's a huge growth market, but for what? Did you guys see Nacktrab's? My wife has given a press conference. Oh, man. I love that the guy put $70 million in the stock and he can't get more than two or three people to respond. The drug had better results than the placebo in this case. What is this? Shut up, kitty. Lockup agreement. That is so weird.
Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops.
Yes.
Water. Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look. The plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops.
Yes.
Wow.
You want me to zoom in my screen? Like this? And you maybe like do you just want me to like move my mouse back and forth so you can see the full screen? Just back and forth like this? No. That's what you want? Or do you want me to fit it to the best fit possible? Like that, maybe? Let me see. You want me to spin it, do tricks on it? I mean, I can understand this. This is not the best way to see things. Dusty's all over these small caps, man. Dusty should come work for me. He's a hungry monkey. He's just looking at every stock like. He's checking every banana to see if it's eatable. He's still a monkey, but My brother and I love monkeys. So we watch stuff like this. Yeah, there's a little shampoo. He didn't look like he's enjoying it. Okay, now he likes it. There's an old monkey in sync. Baby monkey Nala. Oh.
A monkey bear. Time for our monkey bear. You gotta clean the dirty butt. You gotta clean the dirty butt. Gotta clean everything today.
No wriggles. Hey, Mom.
Hey, my diapers didn't come
Mom.
in. I smell like pee.
Mom.
What, baby?
He's not supposed to cut my body's Lego toys.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Good, I'm glad.
This is my favorite video of all time. This is like the greatest. Alligator's like, nah, I don't want to do this. Ow! Okay. These alligators are like, yeah, fuck you. I'm a gangsta alligator. You can't do shit to me. This one right here, he's like, fuck you, man. Ah, bonk! Bonk! Ow! No gangsta no more. Like, nah, I ain't doing this thing. I ain't doing the shovel today. Back in the water. This guy's slick. He's sleeping. Bonk. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. No shovel for me today, boss. I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Man, I'll fuck you up. This guy's like, I'll bite you. I will. Okay, fine. Never mind. No, they don't want the smoke. Trying to get away a little bit with like a little like, man, I hate you. Stop fucking with me. Lizard brain, right? Bonk. Bonk. Bonk, bonk. Listen, we test drugs because we have to. All right? Trying to save human beings. Monkey gotta go. We don't do baby monkeys. Come on. We do adult monkeys. There's millions of monkeys, okay? Can't test any drugs on alligators. Not much of a model animal. No gorillas, no. Rhesus macaques are the model animal for most monkeys. No, I don't think there's a signal there for AM. I'd short alligators, long monkeys, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like IonQ might drop. We'll see. A real pain in the ass. I don't think they should necessarily test in humans because what you need to do with the animals is you do histopathology. So you need to euthanize and dissect. So it's not like it's as simple as I just give it and see what happens. That's not enough. You need to actually go above and beyond that a bit. I don't think so, Zach. Not really. Meister Braus. Listen, if my son has to come out as a baggy, disgrace our whole family. See, I know what my dad would do. I promised myself when I had kids, when that day would come, 30, 40 years from then, when I was born, when I was a small boy, I said, I'm never going to do physical punishment. But if my son comes home, shows me a portfolio, or I find it in his bag, hiding it in his hiding spot, and I find it in a bag and I under the couch or in his pillow, pick it up, and I read it, and it's Rigetti, IonQ, Rocket Lab, QUBT, QBTS, Fartcoin, Oklo, the whole bag 7, SMCI. Plug? You own Plug? Cassava? All the H.C. Wainwright stocks? Strategy? And DraftKings on his phone? That's the final Robinhood account? I go to mom and say, Mom, baby, I got some bad news. What is it? It's about our son. What happened? I went into his room and I found this. He's a baggie. He's a bag holder. He bought all these pieces of trash. He's Long Glaze, Anavex, Cassava, Galectin. She's going to think it's not a big deal, and she's going to say, at least he's not doing drugs. I'd rather have a drug addict son. You're not my son. Thanks, Mark. I mean, all investors start off as bag holders. Like, you're not your first year investing, like, it's hard to be pretty prudent, right? That's the talk. Oh, I'm gonna have that talk when he's 3 or 4 or 5. Like, investing is tricky. Don't trust these crackers. Crackers. Excuse me. Man, who's Wayne Shaw? Who the hell is this? All right, let's. We were working on some cool stuff. Yeah, I'm really excited to ship international. Yeah, you can open multiple browsers. There's also pop-outs and different, on the bottom you can select different panes. So you could have like monitor 2 open on one browser and then main open on another. So you could just hit plus and make your own multiple screens. We'll have way more things coming, desktop, mobile. What I really am looking forward to is it'll take 2 seconds to develop, but my guys are so busy doing better things, is adjusting your focus. So like in the settings, you should be able to pick your own color, your own flash animation, rounded corners, font size, padding, number formats. Some stock you don't even want any decimals, right? Like just really excellent graphics, right? Full MySpace. Yeah. Background GIF would be funny too, Philip. That's definitely coming, one too. Maybe Dexu, maybe. Yeah, I think so, Brian. Every time I try to make a Shkreli coin, I get like fucked by a quote unquote friend or like something bad happens. My first time I got hacked and I didn't realize that like the viruses people put in, you know, all the files on the internet these days, they're optimized to extract crypto. I knew that, you know, so that sucked. The second time I tried, I gave shares to all my buddies and told them to like don't sell, and you know most of them listen, but when you tell them that, then the price goes up and they're like, oh man, I got 100K, they sell. They don't care. And I'm just sitting there like, ugh, you this $25,000 or $100,000 that you made is worth more to you than your relationship to me. Cool, man. What's cap? It's all in the blockchain, buddy. Yeah, this kid, I mean, is this kid I met in jail. One of them was a kid I met in jail. One was this girl I met online. And one was this dude I met online. So there you have it. It's really my fault. But you know, the funny thing is, okay, well, we have our Discord channel, so I meet a lot of people online. But you know, I know that sounds weird, but the yeah, Fonta, exactly. The issue is that when you give tokens to somebody at a low price, and you're like, here's some tokens, this is worth $5 right now. Like, it's not worth anything. And then the price goes up, and they're like, it's worth $50. Who cares? Then it's worth 500. Then it's worth 5,000. Then it's worth 50,000. They're like, hold on a second. I'm broke. I need this 50,000. And the funniest part is the dude who did it is like LARPing as like a crypto influencer. And he liquidated our token to pay for a margin call he had on something else he had problem to. The other guy is really hilarious. There you go, Fanta. The other guy was, I thought he was like a sophisticated crypto guy. Same story. He said he got hacked, all his apes, he lost all his apes, so like he had to make it back. And this was the way he made it back. And then one other friend confronted him and said, what the hell are you doing? Martin just gave this to you as a gift and you're already dumping it, causing the price to go down. And he goes, well, whenever I get interested in a token, you know, I trade it back and forth. Only back and forth is how much was he selling it? He did not check with me. Nope. Yeah, there's lockups, there's all kinds of things, but the point is, you know, exactly, Anthony. The Discord is should be discord.gg/Martin Shkreli, and we'll pass that link around quite often. It's not hard to find. It's on my X account, so you should be able to see that. But yeah, so I've had bad luck with crypto. The first time was, you know, I'd just gotten home and I was using torrents, which were popular before I went away, and I downloaded a torrent, and I knew that I was compromised, you know, so I turned my computer off, I unplugged it, and I was like, I'll debug in the morning, you know, I'll clean out this virus in the morning. And what I didn't realize is that, again, these viruses are very highly optimized to extract crypto, which should be encrypted, and it should be like it shouldn't be so easy to like just, you know, get compromised. So just because Peter Thiel's in the stock does not mean it's that's a cold wallet. Just it's a MetaMask extension. Yeah, just because Peter Thiel's in a stock doesn't mean it's a good stock. I mean, there's oh, that's insane, Philip. What a virus. So instead of sending it to the right address, it sends it to them. Wow, that's a fucking nasty virus. Exactly, Fanta. Like, I remembered the scene, so to speak, and it was like the only reason you would infect people's computers is to maybe to make a botnet, but mostly just to say you owned a lot of people and you had remote control root access. Like, you weren't trying to do anything too malicious. And now it's like, no, I need that crypto. I'm gonna rinse that, launder that across global networks. Like, it's a professional's job now. It's mostly ERC20 tokens, the one we created, the Shkreli coin that somebody created and I kind of adopted for the lulz. Did not work out. I'm still slowly building it back. I buy it every now and then. I've put a lot of money into it. I'm slowly depleting all the supply. It's gonna moon someday. Market's pretty quiescent. Let's look at the most. Yeah, you do it. I don't even know if you want to know the ticker. I just leave it alone. But yeah, I mean, someday crypto, I think, you know, Godel can do crypto. We have to up our game a little bit, quite a bit actually. But Bloomberg and the other similar products out there like FactSet, they don't really do crypto at all. So I think, you know, we can kind of do better there. I don't know if Elevidus is that great, but ultimately, if you had a child with DMD, I think you'd probably want it. It's trending in the right direction. It's not too bad. Ogstuff Fund, those guys are scumbags. You know, this is some of the biggest scumbags in the history of scumbaggery. I'm surprised they're not. Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to get your bug bounty. Good luck with that. Andrew Tate's coin, I don't think was very successful. What's happening to QUBT? Yeah, okay. We'll squeeze. Yeah, virus.exe, exactly. That's what I clicked. Okay, NVIDIA has traded the most number of shares. Then Tesla, then Palantir, then Big Bear? Big Bear's back? Let's go. Supermicro, D-Wave, Intel, Ford, Robinhood, Lucid, Plug, and Denison. These are all $1 stocks, so the amount of shares doesn't really count. In fact, let me pump this. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to. That doesn't really count. It's new holdings that I really want to look at this one. Neo and Banco Bradesco, Dun & Bradstreet. These are, again, all low price stocks. American Airlines, Marathon, Rigetti, CleanSpark. There's Amazon. huge amount of shares traded. Baytex Energy, again, $2 stock. Transocean, the old rig. AMD, SoFi, AT&T, Apple, Oklo, which is down 7%. Bag holders cry. TeraWulf, Northern Dynasty, Comcast, Alibaba, DJT up 9%. I remember when this thing was in the 30s. Oh, man. It was in the 30s. You were there. I was there. Warner Brothers, Walmart down 2%. Your boy. It's your boy. Pfizer, B2 Gold, Riot, Vail, Micron. Bitcoin's very strong. Bitcoin's been very strong. Hims and Hers, Applied Digital, Tilray, IonQ. These are the largest number of volume traded today in the stock market. 4 of them are quantum companies. All right, Porch Group, BitFuFu. That's a great name for a company. I don't give a fuck what it is. Fufu is the ticker. FUFU. What's the ticker? Fufu. FUFU. Yeah, just on GP, you got to buy that, right? DJT, third biggest gainer. I always get these weird Spanish, Latin American companies wrong. This one keeps showing up. Maybe this is, this is like, yeah, it's making new highs. Mobileye, Tiptree, Enerpac Tool Group, Sandstorm Gold, International Paper, there you go, Eldorado Gold, QVC, another Spanish company, Turkcell, Diginex, this is that fake company. It's not shortable, is it? Yeah, 20,000 shares only. This one and RGC, right, are the fake Chinese stocks. They're not real companies. SailPoint. Okay, I think this market cap can't be right. Maybe this is new IPO. We gotta fix that. Yeah. Google doesn't even have the IPO at the market cap at all. I think we have the wrong one. Let's see. Okay, I think Yahoo Finance has the right one. We'll fix it. Okay, that'll fix that going forward. Trevi, Grupo Televisa, Telecom Argentina, Banco Bradesco, a lot of Spanish companies. Nothing I really recognize here, and some of these are only up to 3 or 4%. Cloudflare is one. Mineralys continues to rock, but nothing too crazy. Axogen up 5%. All right, losers. U.S. Rare Earth Inc., biggest loser today. UniFirst. This is a like Cintas competitor. Interesting. Wow. Oh, this is interesting. Uniforms, yeah, uniforms and office equipment sales are down. That's an interesting data point potentially. Super High International, global Chinese restaurant brand to propagate Chinese culinary heritage. You trying to propagate? I love the translation. 89 Bio, Pony AI, one of the bigger AI companies. Oklo, Torrid Holdings. This is Curve for curvy people apparel. Lotus Technology, Lumen Technology, that's LUMN, Organogenesis. Fortrea, Intelia, the biggest bag holder of all is me. Nebius, another sort of baggy stock. Axum and Immunovant, kind of good, both good biotech companies in there. Cipher Mining, Bulgari, Biglari, excuse me. That's the mini Berkshire. Schrodinger down 5%. TeraWolf, always on this list. Getty Images, Biorad, InnoData, Dave & Buster's, Dyne Therapeutics, a bunch of weaker stocks today, Cytokinetics, Cure Oncology, etc. Okay. One last thing, I guess, was the value list. So pretty much all the large caps, nothing out of the ordinary. Supermicro and Robinhood continuously punch above their weight. There's Carvana also punching above its weight. But no small caps on the most value traded list, which is relatively normal. Our quantum stocks are flattish today. All right, we're on this journey to look at every large cap. Yeah, George is a brother from another brother. Yeah, we are big fans of Sarepta. I don't have autism. I am sure. There really isn't such thing as little autistic. You could be a little OCD. You could be a little antisocial, but autism is kind of a weird thing. Yeah, there should be no doubt. There's no treatment, unfortunately. I tried to make one of the first treatments ever for autism. Autism is a spectrum of severity and it's a spectrum of symptoms, but it's not. Every disease has a spectrum of severity. You can have mild asthma, you can have moderate asthma, or you can have severe asthma. You guys need paint. You ready for paint? Ready for another paint day? All right, we gotta clip this, and we gotta put on TikTok and Instagram and stuff because this is important. All right, let's talk about autism. Your favorite subject. You love calling people autists, don't you? Okay. Here's the reality. None of you guys are autistic. None of your friends are autistic. When you use that word, you're making a big mistake because autism is a specific thing. Now, we use the term ASD sometimes. That's autism spectrum disorder. And this word spectrum is a doozy. This gets people really confused. They think about maybe a rainbow and the Roy G. Biv colors of rainbow, or red, orange, yellow, etc. The reality is there's three diagnostic criteria for autism. You have to meet all three to meet the diagnostic criteria, and that's why this is a spectrum of symptoms. Okay, there's also a spectrum of severity. So people like to say you're on the spectrum. That doesn't make any sense. We say this because, like, we think about, red is on the spectrum. But if you just have one of these symptoms, you don't have autism spectrum disorder. The spectrum is a similar word to syndrome, which is a number of different symptoms. So, it's a misnomer, and I think people like to, especially parents, like the idea of having a saying on the spectrum because it mollifies a bit the nature of the illness. And this is no doubt about it, an illness. And it's not something you want. It's not something you want to be proud of. There's a lot of people that suffer from this illness. They want treatment. It's a severe thing. It's a serious thing. So it's pretty sad to hear people get it so wrong. So what are the 3 symptoms of autism? You have to have all 3, okay? The first is social interaction. Okay, so what does that mean? I'm just going to write social here. So when it comes to social understanding and friendship and stuff like that, it's very hard to form bonds. Things like understanding context. Now, there are people that do this. This is kind of the hardest symptom of all these to understand. And I think there are people that don't necessarily understand social cues and things like that. But in a lot of ways, like, these people are loners. Fairly antisocial, really difficult understanding social cues. This is like the most mysterious symptom. So I could understand people not really getting this. But I think, understanding those social cues is, difficult, and making friendships, making relationships is kind of very challenging for people with autism. Intimacy is extremely challenging, for example. So that's kind of the most sort of difficult symptom to understand. We just get it out of the way first, and we'll get back to it in a second to analyze it further. But the 2 and 3 are pretty unambiguous. So the second is communication. And it's almost impossible for people with autism to communicate clearly. In fact, many, many people with autism are completely mute. And most people with autism can't speak like the way I'm speaking, like a motor mouth. So anybody with severe communication deficits could be a candidate for autism, provided the other 2 apply. So again, people with complete lack of social understanding, like a serious impairment of an ability to make bonds and friendships, complete understanding of the so-called RMET test. If you want to do this test, it's called the reading of the mind of the eyes test. And RMET is an interesting test where you have to look at these eyes and decide which emotion is this. Okay? What do you think? Is this person apologetic, friendly, uneasy, or dispirited? This is tough. This is hard, right? This eyebrow kind of makes me feel one way, that maybe they're uneasy. But I also can see friendly. This one's tricky. See? You guys think it's easy? Who says it's really easy? Show me who thinks it's really easy. Tell me who says it's like the easiest thing. I just want to prove somebody wrong. It's clearly uneasy. Some people say friendly. No, it's uneasy. It's uneasy. How about this one? Despondent, relieved. He doesn't look relieved. Shy, excited. You need to know vocabulary for this one. This one's super easy. All right, how about this one? Annoyed, hostile, horrified, or preoccupied. This is tricky because there's sort of like all negative emotions here. Oh yeah, this is a hard one. Oh yeah, we should see if ChatGPT can get these. You're right. You can't. You're not going to get them all right. Yeah, this one's preoccupied. So anyway, someone with autism gets all of these wrong. They have no clue. They're getting like random score, 25%. So this is sort of the RMET test. So let's get back to communication. So people who are mute, I'm not going to pantomime the way an autistic person speaks sometimes, but I think you've probably heard it before. It's not always clear communication. There's sort of just a difficulty with language and words, and if you can talk like me, like just blab on about something, you don't have autism. Period. The end. You're done. All three are gone. This is a spectrum of symptoms that you have to be on, all three. Otherwise, you're not fitting the disease. You can be antisocial, right? You could have tons of diseases have this problem. It does not have to do necessarily with autism. You have to have all three. You cannot be a blabbermouth or a great public speaker and have autism because you're missing this canonical part of the spectrum. That's like saying, well, I've got the red and I've got the green, so I'm the rainbow. Well, no, you need the yellow, you need the orange, you need the blue. All right, the third one is like pathognomonic. It's a great word if you don't know it. Pathognomonic. Now, my whole point of this is that it's also pronounced pathognome. Pathognomonic, like underpants gnome. This little gnome guy here. So pathognomonic means like it is exactly diagnostic for this disease. Now, there's nothing pathognomonic for this disease. That's the whole point of this video, other than all three of these, right? But the third one is repetitive behaviors or stereotyped behaviors. And the most pathognomonic one of these, so to speak, is hand flapping. So if you've ever seen hand flapping, which kind of looks like this, that's fairly, clear. If you ever watch Rain Man and you see the repetitive, sort of speaking, if I was sitting here saying cassava, 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 cassava is a short. That's the type of thing you would expect from an autistic patient, someone who's on the autism spectrum routine. So again, repetitive routines, something like somebody cleaning their hands 25 times in a row. But again, that's an OCD type behavior too. So you need to match all of these. So you could be OCD, you could have anxiety, and you will have some of these repetitive behaviors. So restricted interests, people with autism really like trains often. They play with trains. You have to have all three. It's really important. You can't just be a normal person and say, well, sometimes I do this, sometimes I do that. It's pretty deep, and pretty important. The interesting thing about the average IQ of autism patients, it's also important here, is roughly 85, maybe 90, 85 to 90. So people with autism, they have serious intellectual disability. Serious intellectual disability. They cannot do the things that you and I can do. It's also important to understand that people with autism have very high unemployment. They have very difficult time, getting employed. So, and now again, the average IQ is 100. Some of us in this chat are a little higher, but some of us are not. And so another really big factor is we know unemployment rates 4%. Does anybody know if that's U1 or U0? U3, U2? But let's say the unemployment rate's 4%. What's the unemployment rate for autism? 76% one study, 90% another study. So if you have a job, you can basically probably can't get diagnosed here. So certainly if you have a high achieving job. So, this is what autism is all about. When you misgender me, I get really mad. When you misdiagnose me, I get even more mad. So stop doing those things. And, I hope you learned something today. Okay, there you clip it, cut it. Yeah, there's people who are autistic that haven't spoken a word for like 3 years. It sounds crazy, I know, but that's autism. Asperger's was removed from the DSM. It's been replaced with high-functioning autism, which is just this cop-out of like, okay, everything I just drew except make it broader by taking some things away. I think human nature is we want to categorize stuff. Like that is a huge part of human nature. You see me do it all day, right? And the word neuroatypical comes up, and I think we give names to things we don't understand. No, I don't think Barron is autist. I think a lot of kids being brought up today, younger people, they're different. They're a little different. They're not. Every generation's a little different. I think Yeah, I've studied the causes and potential treatments for autism pretty thoroughly. I licensed synthetic oxytocin, intranasal oxytocin from Novartis. It was not a great license, to be honest. Kind of didn't work great. I don't think vaccines. Well, I'll say this: we don't know necessarily why autism happens. 1, 2. We have a big problem with one theory and thesis, which is very promising, which is that autism is caused by immunological deviations during development. And I think that is a very reasonable hypothesis where there's a lot of data. So while vaccines themselves are very unlikely to quote-unquote cause autism directly, the immunological hypothesis is very reasonable. And there's some fascinating stuff that's been published about mother-child immunity and things like that. Now, one of the interesting things about immunity, pre-development at least, or pre-parturition, technically, pre-birth, is you have a very weird graft-versus-host problem. And pregnancy is... there's a bunch of signals that the body sends to lower immunity during pregnancy. This is why women with MS experience complete remission during pregnancy. It's bizarre. What's up, Humphrey? What are you talking about, Craig? What website? Fucking people wasting my time. So the immune hypothesis is pretty reasonable. The aging of the mother, aging of the father thesis is also pretty interesting. So, yeah, I think it's just mostly it's a mix of the widening. You deleted our API. What are you talking about? Just our company, everything's working fine. I'm the technician. Yeah, good. Knock yourself out, Kirk. I don't know why you're intentionally causing my business harm or trying to. I'm happy to litigate over this matter. You try to illegally access my systems, I will pursue you. You talking about Squarespace, dog? Squarespace? 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 We had some real people hitting our APIs. Squarespace? Squarespace? This is how I view unrequited pen testing.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you.
That's just a skid, man.
I will find you. And I will kill you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
This movie set back Albanians like 25 years, at least. Me and Mira Murati are furious. Yes, that's us, Mike.
Shitcher. Shitcher.
Shitcher. You can short Farcoin on most sexes and also a few dexes. Brian, no. I mean, the main core of my thesis is that there's no actual useful quantum application that NVIDIA can't do. And that is actually mathematically provable. Other than Shores, obviously. I haven't done Oxy yet. My favorite part about quantum is when they say that material scientists and chemists and pharmaceutical people want it, and they don't. They're certainly not going to pay for it. There are researchers, I will say this, I mean, there are people in the research world that may want it, but the research world's very small. Like, that's why Jensen was talking about the quantum instrument. There might be some government demand, but if we get a quantum computer, that means all these companies will have it. It'll kind of be a commodity. And I think the sole use case of like cracking some old cryptographic messages isn't that great. Not a huge market. The government's, got some, security concerns, which is fine. But, I think they're going to work with Google and IBM and companies like that have staying power, maybe Microsoft. I think 1 or 2 cycles and most of these companies are gone. There's going to be probably 3 or 4 business cycles before we get a reliable quantum computer. I don't know. I think it would be bullish in a sense, William, because like once one company does quantum, everybody else will just pretty much copy it, whatever technique is being used. But scaling up is hard. I don't think there's an obvious way to scale up. And I feel like, it's just going to be very tricky. Yeah, that's a common thing, Teddy. But, if it's 25 years from now, we're going to decrypt messages we already knew about, and it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, we still are far away from RSA being broken, unfortunately. I really would like us to get off RSA, but we probably are safe for a little while longer, although the NSA is making sure that we get off immediately. What's really interesting is the government's interested in getting off, getting to post-quantum cryptography, but that's bearish for all the quantum computing companies because that means that they all... Whereas everyone's going to move to post-quantum, there's going to be nothing left to decrypt. The quantum computers won't be useful. So I think that's, kind of, it's going to defeat the only use case. Yeah, we've looked a little bit BRB. I'm not an expert in statistics, no, Zane. I wish I was. I wish I was. I want to be. I know enough to be dangerous. It's possible. But right now, Rocco, I don't think so. But it's possible. Tima. Oh. Better odds of 1 in 10 raffle versus 10 tickets in a 100 total raffle. I think you have the same odds there. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Yeah, I mean, photonic computing could work. Thermodynamic computing could work. There's a big article out yesterday about Guillaume and his thermodynamic computing company. The Hume article said that the FDA reviewer said that the product doesn't work. And I wish I was handsome. Should we look at RKLV? That would be fun. Let's see. It'll make all the baggies mad. Good question, Sukma. How do you do superposition? Doing tricks on it. Okay, is this it? RKLB? Rocket Lab. FOMO, it's been the same price forever. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's been flat for a few months here since I looked at it. Yeah, it's kind of a dog shit company. It's been kind of flat for 6 months. It was a dog forever, and then dog had its day. But let's see if it's going to be a dog again or not. Okay. Let me, I guess, give the link out so you guys I can get the whole baggy crew in here. How much do I not want to do this right now? So much.
Thought it was a bubble. Maybe some of the prices got up to bubble territory, but nevertheless, you're starting to see practical applications and monetization. So quantum, I think, is the next AI, and IonQ is the next NVIDIA, if you will. And so it's pretty much like a quantum SaaS type of company, QaaS.
Did you say if you will?
Like if you will. And so it's pretty much and IonQ is the next NVIDIA, if you will. And so it's pretty much like a quantum SaaS type of company, QaaS. Biggest clients are Google, Amazon, things like this. And basically, you're talking about a market that's thought to grow about 38% between now and 2028 as quantum becomes,
Wait, you're saying Google,
if you will,
is the biggest client of IonQ?
NVIDIA, if you will. And so it's pretty much like a quantum SaaS type of company, QaaS. Biggest clients are Google, Amazon, things like this.
Google and Amazon are the biggest clients of IonQ? What?
And basically, you're talking about a market that's thought to grow about 38% between now and 2028 as quantum becomes, a reality and a practical application to different sectors. So I really like those two names. I think they're interesting long-term, but I thought it was a bubble. Maybe some of the prices got...
Okay. All right. So let's, she's got a quantum ETF. So Next NVIDIA is NVIDIA. All right, so let's go through a couple things here for Rocket Lab. It's a cringe-ass company. My GitHub has all my models. Sir Peter Beck. I like that. Launch cadence. A 60% increase in launch cadence. Okay, so you had 10 launches in 2023 and 16 launches in 2024. That's what you're trying to say. Launch cadence. Flatellite. So they're going from 10 to 16 to 20 plus. It's not that much growth. I mean, listen, I'm still looking at it. I haven't made my decision yet. You know, my initial looks said it looked pretty expensive, but you know, I don't come in with an agenda. I don't give a fuck. I'll buy stock. I'll sell a stock. It doesn't matter to me. Here to make money. Some of you guys are fanboys. I don't look at the market as just being a fucking fan, okay? I'm not a fan of nothing. I'm a fan of my bread, my paper, stacking paper. That's it. You know, if you want to be a fan of something or you want to love something unconditionally, man, do that to your family or sports team. You ain't doing that in the stock market. The right price, I sell. And if you're not doing that, you're a bag holder. Okay, so revenue, the Q1 guidance is trash. I thought maybe they could do 150 or something like that, but they're going to do 120. So they're guiding to 29% growth, but last year they had 55 to 120% growth. Why is Q1 so fucking bad? I mean, I'm sure Q2 will be better, but that's already a bit, you know, kind of cringe. 30% growth is, you know, the first stop to 10% growth. So we'll see. It could just be phasing, you know? Sometimes you don't always get it perfect. So their big customer is IQPS, whoever these guys are, the Kyushu Pioneers of Space, Inc. Okay. Listen, having $1 billion in backlog when you have a 12 billion market cap doesn't help. That means you're going to have $1 billion in revenue on low margin revenue, so you might make 250 from that, 250 mil, and you want to pay 12 billion for this. Cool. How's that backlog help me? Does that make any fucking sense? Wow, $1 billion in backlog. You mean you might make 250 from that in gross margin? That's in gross margin. That's not cash flow. You want to pay 12 billion for that? Man, I got a lot of stuff to sell you for 12 billion. All right, let's keep digging. Let's keep digging. I just like making fun of baggies. Oh my God, $1 billion in backlog. Low margin backlog. I love it. It's a leader of the Bag 7. I would say that's right. It might get removed from the Bag 7 under the right circumstances. Yeah, how do we get Bag 7? Okay, let's make a quick thing here. Bagnificent 7. I'm just gonna put the logos on this real quick. This will be fun. I promise I'll go fast. So we've got IonQ. We got Rigetti. Let me know what was in the Bag 7, because I kind of forget what I posted yesterday. But only what I posted, please. Generative erase? What? Trying to keep aspect ratio. Oh, BBAI, thank you. Yeah, AMC is the oldest member of the Bag 7. That's like the OG, you know? That's like, it's like the Dow Jones, you know? It's the blue chip. The Down Jones. Oh no. We did it to him again. And it's a double meme on Down syndrome. Am I missing QUBT? Is that the last one? Oh no, Rocket Lab. Now the bag 7 are like the current bag holder leaders. The Down 30. So the Down 30 includes all of those. And then we have to add 23 more. So we'll put in GameStop. We'll do the deep dive in a second. This is so worth though. Oh yeah, we're doing all that. GameStop. Yeah, we got to build an index. That's annoying. Jesus Christ. What else? Oh yeah. Trump, what is it? Trump, DJT is what? Trump Media and Technology? Oh yeah, Tilray is big. Big baggy time. Tilray and Sundial. Is Sundial still public? I don't think so, right? Carvana's a good one. We could throw Carvana in there. Cassava should be in here, right? But they don't have bag holders. Like, Cassava people gave up. Bed Bath and Beyond. Ethereum is definitely Oh, Soundhound's a good one. Bitcoin Cash is a funny one too, yeah. Is Sundial still stock though? Oh my god, it is. What's like something that people just won't give up on? It's just like trash that people constantly ask about. Oh, Northwest Biotherapeutics. Something people just won't give up on. Yeah, Peloton's a good one. They just can't sell it because they're bag holders. They'll never sell. They're delusional. Who's the most delusional stockholders? I'm talking about delusional. Is this the right company? Canopy Growth? I'm pretty sure. I thought we did Tilray. It's not. Nike's a little different. Yeah, I might need dog with hat. You think BlackBerry? I don't follow BlackBerry too closely. Where's two Tilrays? Oh yeah, thank you. Let's put this cute guy here. Tempest AI, that's a good one. What's like, okay, Carvana. What's like an obvious short as well that like people don't realize, the shareholders don't realize they're going to get smoked on? Like more of a popular one. Yeah, give me some Kathy Wood names. I guess we could do Neo. We have strategy. Yeah, I guess we could do Quantum Computing Inc. Oh, ACHR could be good. Yeah, I like that one. Was that Archer Aviation? Basically, we need a list of like stocks owned by retail. That's basically it. I don't think we can use like companies that have gone bankrupt or like, you know, really old like memes, although Sundial is a funny one. Just a photo of Kathy. No large market caps. Oh, Joby sounds good. Rivian sounds good. LUNR. So yeah, what's the lunar Intuitive Machines? Yeah, this is a good one. Palantir's one of the biggest companies in the fucking world. Nobody's bag holding it. What are you, stupid? So XRP's up a lot. Like, that's not baggies. We literally have AMC. It was the first one we did. It's in the bag 7. Come on. Neo's probably good. Well, is Virgin Galactic still public? ASTS probably pretty good too. It's only stocks that are like obvious garbage. So that Wendy's doesn't count. Wendy's sells food. Oh, Ginkgo. Yes, Ginkgo. Yeah, we have Trump Media. TMTG is Trump Media Group. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, the last one will be, what's the last spot for this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, we have room for 2, actually. Rivian's good, I think. You guys are wild. Rumble, Rivian, Popcat. So final contenders here. I'll make a poll. Nikola's not still public, right? Is Bumble like something retailers really care a lot about? Okay, let's do these. There's a poll up, so just vote on the poll. Bag holders anonymous. Oh yeah, I counted again, and there's 22 here. So Mankind's a good one. We did Lucid. Lucid's here. Pay attention. I don't think anyone's going to beat Rivian, to be honest. We have Beyond Meat. Pay attention. Well, its market cap is $2 million. It could, okay, you know what? It's shortlisted for inclusion when we rebalance. All right? There'll be a lot of speculation as to... Hi, Patrick. Yeah, Carvana's probably a short. I just don't know when, where, and how. All right, let's go back to Rocket Lab. This is an interesting company. I'm not, you know, we can remove it from the Bag 7. And if it makes sense to upgrade one of the Dow Jones 30 to the Bag 7, we can do that. Skyrocket is not a word we use here, Brian. Okay. You're saying this is this agreement with IQPS, this Japanese company. We're gonna look into this. Hold on a second. This sounds strange. I already had these. Who the hell is IQPS? Institute for Kyushu Pioneers of Space. If this is their big bad client. Okay, it's publicly traded. Let's look. Market cap is 350 million. Come on, dog. It's not even 350, it's like 300. So I don't know if these guys are well equipped to be your biggest customer. They signed a contract, but they're They can't meet their obligations unless they raise more money. No, okay, you said they have dozens of clients, but why does it say the combined contracts with IQPS represent one of the largest Electron launch agreements to date? Just saying. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, or I'm not saying it's a short just because of that, but that's the kind of companies you're dealing with here. All right. I didn't write this press release, did I? Did I make up this company, the Institute for Kyushu Pioneers of Space Incorporated? No, I did not. I had nothing to do with this. They did that. Okay? Did I take this company public in Japan with a 300 million market cap? No, I didn't. Some Japanese guys did. Okay? Did I force them to do one of the biggest deals apparently to date with Electron? No, I didn't. I wasn't there. They signed that deal, not me. So don't blame me. All right? Okay, selected by Kratos to support a 1 point. Let's see here. Oh, these guys are public. Oh, wait, this is a $5 billion company. That's a little better. Okay, but don't blow smoke up my ass. Okay, I know what I'm doing here. Fucking IQPS. So what did they subcontract here? Okay. Kinesis. This is a French IoT provider. Let's look into them. It's like Kinase, yeah. Founded in 2018. Raised 100 mil and is listed. I don't think it's publicly traded, right? Oh, Clove would have been good. Okay, so these guys are pretty small too. Triple checking that it's not listed. Okay. So between Kinase and IQPS, a big chunk of their customers are these like pretty crummy companies. Okay, Michael, appreciate it. I'll keep looking. I'm just going what it says in the press release. I'm going product by product, detail by detail. So Neutron is the medium lift. So that's launch. Okay. So now they have space systems. Flatellite. So this is, so they're trying to pair the product with the launch. Is that the idea? So this is like low cost satellite. High speed remote sensing. Yeah, why is guidance so bad? Okay, so Flatellite's going to compete with SpaceX? Is that the idea? Well, we just have to look at them carefully, Brian. I'm not saying you can go out and short Rocket Lab yet. And the other thing to keep in mind is just because you're excited for the future doesn't mean you should be paying the wrong price. There's a difference between being excited for the future and then losing your money. If you want to just be excited for the future, look at Cathie Wood's investments, right? Like, these are the companies that are exciting for the future, but they're not necessarily great investments. Tesla, Roku, Coinbase, Roblox, Palantir, Tempest, CRISPR, Shopify, Robinhood, and Twist. Some of those are good companies. But if we go back and I want to look at all the holdings. I don't want the top 10. We have this coming out for Godel very soon. All right. Archer Aviation is 2%. Wow. Recursion's such a fucking dog. That's a good backholder stock. Yeah, you can buy all these if you want, but like some of these are good companies, but John Deere. But you know, you have to buy them at the right price. Joby, Butterfly. Future apparently really needs tractors. I just accept everything. at face value, whatever management tells me. Yeah, so you got some pretty decent, futuristic companies in here, but they're like, do you want to pay that price? That's the question. Is it a fair price for you? I'm still working on it, all right? Stop. You can't rush it. You rush it, you make mistakes, you miss out. Very careful and deliberate. So they have $200 million of equipment. I find that interesting. They need to raise money? Possibly? Well, the guidance for Q1 growth is not good. They went from growing 50 to 100% every quarter year over year to now 29%. So I don't know why. Maybe they'll beat that number, but that's not That's the first thing that jumped out to me is what the fuck is this guidance? I'm sure there's good reason for it. But yeah, you just don't go from... I mean, it could be something as simple as like, okay, Q4 revenue got pulled in, so Q1's going to be lighter. You know, that's not that big of a deal. So you just have to dig into it a little bit. I'm not saying the sky is falling. Funny term for a space company. Hey, listen, these contracts have to be profitable. And they just have to have more volume and stuff like that. And I guess they're competing with SpaceX. Is that fair? Or is SpaceX more heavy launch? Or they're not burning too much. They're not burning too much. It's not bad. 100 mil. It's very, very financeable, very doable. How much does it cost to launch with them? Yeah, thank you so much, Extraordinary. I don't need to do anything. What a cool... You saved me all this time. I hate doing all this due diligence anyway. Thank you so much. So this is the 61st. Okay, here's the ATM. I'm looking at Rocket Lab. It's going to take a little time. I don't just throw bullshit out there. That could be in Q2. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I remember that. That's what happened, right? I rolled the dice. That's how I made that decision. It was not a very rigorous decision there. Okay, there's 50. That's Q2, and that's again for Kinesis. These guys don't have any fucking customers, man. It's all the same shitty companies. Who's Synspective? This client list is just like, I don't think companies are going to come back. I have bounce, I have. It's not on GitHub. I've done well with pairs trading over the years. They did 16, right? Probably did like something like that. I have a long-term asthma and allergy problem, thanks to my wonderful cats. So they said they would do 92 to 98. Wow, they did 93 last time they did this. So they're not necessarily a sandbagger kind of company where they give really low guidance and beat the hell out of it. Have any of you guys heard of this NRO? Yet another 3-letter agency I never heard of. Okay, here's another quarter that they met exactly in line. Which is good. I like to see companies that announce guidance and then meet the guidance. Straight shooters really, really important. Missing launch 47. So this is launch 48. NASA's a good customer. right. We need 49 now. Second launch for climate is 49. Oh, no, it says, yeah, okay. Yeah, NASA's the kind of customer you want to see. No, Huma's on the screen because we're. It's not. Oh, what's up, Nicole? How are you? Nicole is my, I guess, friend. She tends to like a lot of the stocks that I don't like, but that's okay. That doesn't mean I can't be friends with somebody. What difference would it make? Cham? Yeah, she's in the Baggy clan. She's of the Baggy persuasion. What is that kidding? What does that mean? And what's the joke? I missed it. Okay, so let's say they do 20. They're going to do 20 launches. Fine. Does anybody... Well, let me get the 10K. Oh. Well, I just don't know what the joke is. We're all content creators. All right, let's read this K. Bald. Am I bald? I have a bad haircut. Is this bald, guys? Am I bald yet? Is this like one of these ChatGPT questions? Not yet? Okay, good. Just making sure I'm not bald because I'm pretty sure I woke up with hair this morning. Yeah. I think I have some hair. Just double checking, you know? Not bald, right? Bald, not bald. Don't worry about my looks, okay? Worry about your own looks. Can't wait to go bald. So what are they? Are they selling mostly satellites? What are they selling? They have launch, and then they have space systems. Space systems is a bigger business for them than launch. Okay, there you go. Thank you for the answer. Reaction wheels, solar panels, other components. We'd like to have some more visibility on that. Were people waiting for Sava to work? That's weird. Build your own satellite. Interesting. be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll finish Rocket Lab. All right, sorry about that. We're back. All right, so let's assume their gross... Oh, we are assuming their gross margin goes up a lot. Let's assume it goes up even more. What's Lockheed's gross margin? Okay. Fuck. Guys, I got bad news. It's bad. The patient is very sick. All right, let's see how we can make this work. All right, we're going to lower our discount rate. Okay, we'll go from 10 to 9. We'll increase the maturity, 3%. All right, now we're up to $5. Okay, now we're cooking. We have to add neutron. We have to add neutron, you're right. Okay. When is neutron gonna do its first launch? This year? Oh no, we can make this work. We can make this work. Korea woke up? Fuck. Koreans wake up. Oh yeah, we're gonna do some tricks on this. We're gonna get some sailor math. Don't worry. I got something. How about this thing doubles for a little while? Yeah, I like that. Then grows 50% for a little while. Then 30%. Then 20%. Okay. And then We're gonna do neutron price. Okay. How we get? What's the price gonna be? 15 mil? 20 mil? 20 mil? 55 mil? People, is it 55 really? Okay. Let's fucking go. Now we're talking. Whoa! You guys probably don't want to see that. Maybe we went a little too ham. All right, so hold on. Hold on. Stop right there. Just a quick calculation, all right? Doesn't mean anything. Let's put them on the same trajectory as SpaceX. Let's see. My God. We can get back our 10% discount rate. Well, 2035 maturity is a little bit of a stingy. So that's a little stingy. I think it's because of RFK. Yeah, I'm increasing the space systems revenue quite a lot. I don't think Cameron got charged. I think just Dale. Crazy. My old drug, these guys insider traded on. What a crazy story. No, the SEC got Cameron. Unless you got an indictment for me to read. I gave Cameron that job. It's really crazy. Why in the hell would they insider trade? So stupid. Yeah, we're a Docker place. Don't trash talk like that, buddy. Cats are a core holding. We have found the shares. I thought there were two different use cases, Mountain Shark. Are there any other launch companies? A lot of Musk's launches are for himself, so I don't think it's fair to give them the SpaceX growth rate. And launch is a side project, this guy says. I understand that. I think SpaceX, right? Most of SpaceX's value is Starlink. I'm just talking about market cap. Not sure about that. You can cabin the upside downside with just basic mathematics. Yeah, the revenue's low margin though. So most of the EBITDA is in there. I think the launch was basically just, you know, there to launch their stuff. So Starship is going to be more cost effective than Neutron. I think Q1 guidance being so weak isn't good. Even though, it's a long-term play. The long-term is made up of quarter by quarter. I think it's still in the back seven. Sorry. Why would you pay $12 billion for this? To pay for for a company to be worth $10 billion, it has to have the opportunity to make $1 billion someday. And I don't see where that's going to happen. I will say that if they can successfully launch Neutron, there will be a bit of a different story. But let's see it happen, and let's see it be cost effective. Let's see, etc. And let's also see what the market looks like. Without Starlink, the launch market looks pretty skimpy. I wouldn't own this thing. What's the point? We're just excited because SpaceX is worth so much, but SpaceX is a telecom company. And it's run by the greatest entrepreneur of all time. So if it wasn't run by the greatest entrepreneur of all time, SpaceX would be worth more like $150 billion, 80 or 90% of which would be, maybe 90%, would be telecom. So this company is just overvalued. It doesn't seem like a bad company, to be honest. He definitely seems competent. But yeah, I don't see big revenue coming here. Yeah, we're still building our options product, Lychee. We have a ton of companies that aren't overvalued. We just looked at American Express yesterday. We've been in a stock called ADMA Farming. Yeah, shorting is always nice. No apes. Apes gone. Yeah, I don't know. This is tricky. I have to grab my cell phone from somewhere, wherever I left it. Was I good in school? In what way? Like behavior-wise? Yeah, of course I was good in school. I mean, eventually in high school, I kind of got bored of it all. I think we're done looking at Rocket Lab for now. I mean, I learned a lot more about their business. It's a it's a real company. It's a real business. It's not some weird fake bullshit. But it does look like a weird cope cult. Yeah, I played basketball. I highly recommend sports. Highly recommend sports for kids. Get the insane sociopathic competitive trait out. I think we figured out I was different around 3 or 4. I think INQ management are basically fraudsters. I like Chris Monroe, but he's not part of the company anymore. I don't play golf. Quantum space.
Gemini 2.5, our most intelligent AI model. Gemini 2.5 is a thinking model designed to tackle increasingly complex problems. Our first 2.5 model, Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental, leads common benchmarks by meaningful margins and showcases strong reasoning and code capabilities. Kore Kavachuoglu, CTO of Google DeepMind. Today we're introducing Gemini 2.5, our most intelligent AI model. Our first 2.5 release is an experimental version of 2.5 Pro, which is state-of-the-art on a wide range of benchmarks and debuts at number 1 on LM Arena by a significant margin. Gemini 2.5 models are thinking models, capable of reasoning through their thoughts before responding, resulting in enhanced performance and improved accuracy. In the field of AI, a system's capacity for reasoning refers to more than just classification and prediction. It refers to its ability to analyze information, draw logical conclusions, incorporate context and nuance, and make informed decisions. For a long time, we've explored ways of making AI smarter and more capable of reasoning through techniques like reinforcement learning and chain-of-thought prompting. Building on this, we recently introduced our first thinking model, Gemini 2.0 Flash Thinking. Now, with Gemini 2.5, we've achieved a new level of performance by combining a significantly enhanced base model with improved post-training. Going forward, we're building these thinking capabilities directly into all of our models, so they can handle more complex problems and support even more capable, context-aware agents. Introducing Gemini 2.5 Pro. Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental is our most advanced model for complex tasks. It tops the LM Arena leaderboard, which measures human preferences, by a significant margin, indicating a highly capable model equipped with high-quality style. 2.5 Pro also shows strong reasoning and code capabilities, leading on common coding, math, and science benchmarks. Gemini 2.5 Pro is available now in Google AI Studio and in the Gemini app for Gemini Advanced users, and will be coming to Vertex AI soon. We'll also introduce pricing in the coming weeks, enabling people to use 2.5 Pro with higher rate limits for scaled production use. Enhanced reasoning. Gemini 2.5 Pro is state-of-the-art across a range of benchmarks requiring advanced reasoning. Without test time techniques that increase cost, like majority voting, 2.5 Pro leads in math and science benchmarks like GPQA and AMY 2025. It also scores a state-of-the-art 18.8% across models without tool use on Humanity's Last Exam, a dataset designed by hundreds of subject matter experts to capture the human frontier of knowledge and reasoning. Advanced coding. We've been focused on coding performance, and with Gemini 2.5 we've achieved a big leap over 2.0, with more improvements to come. 2.5 Pro excels at creating visually compelling web apps and agentic code applications, along with code transformation and editing. On SWE Bench Verified, the industry standard for agentic code evals, Gemini 2.5 Pro scores 63.8% with a custom agent setup. Here's an example of how 2.5 Pro can use its reasoning capabilities to create a video game by producing the executable code from a single line prompt. Building on the best of Gemini. Gemini 2.5 builds on what makes Gemini models great: native multimodality and a long context window. 2.5 Pro ships today with a 1 million token context window, 2 million coming soon, with strong performance that improves over previous generations. It can comprehend vast datasets and handle complex problems from different information sources, including text, audio, images, video, and even entire code repositories. Developers and enterprises can start experimenting with Gemini 2.5 Pro in Google AI Studio now, and Gemini Advanced users can select it in the model dropdown on desktop and mobile. It will be available on Vertex AI in the coming weeks.
Why do they announce this stuff and then not let people try it? It makes no fucking sense. It'll be available in the next coming weeks. I want to use it now. So fucking stupid. We launched a couple of silly features for Godel. One is so if you go to the holders list, you can actually look at it as a heat map. So kind of neat if you like heat maps. I don't personally like heat maps, but you know. What else did we do? Always check change, because change has stuff even I don't know about. But yeah, we have a couple of bangers coming out pretty soon. Sign up, godelterminal.com. I'm going to take a break. I have some stuff to do, including managing the company. So thank you guys. Love you guys. See you later or tomorrow. Appreciate it.